All right, guys, welcome. We have Leslie Andrews in the studio with us today. What's up, Leslie?
What's up?
How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
Day. Yep.
You had a really good week, didn't you?
Pretty good. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah. So, and you've been through a bunch. Your dad passed away. Sorry to hear that. But I know it's like one of those things. It's when someone's suffering, it's like you're watching them suffer, right? Grow weaker and weaker and weaker. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost, I watch my grandparents do that. It's like you don't want them to die, but you're like, you do and you don't at the same time, right? That makes sense.
It was no life. It was so bad at the end that it really was. When people say, "Oh, they're at peace," no, absolutely, it was. Okay, yeah, it was much better, much better for him. But
right. Well, and it sucks, right? But it's part of life. But you were driving. Your dad lived how far from here?
From here.
From here.
2 hours and 10 minutes.
2 hours and 10 minutes. So you live an hour from here
mm-hmm.
and an hour to him.
Hour and a half to him.
Hour and a half to him. 2 hours. So it was like a big triangle.
Yeah.
And you were
on some days,
right? I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But now, so this is we call this the Off the Bench podcast. And before I forget, subscribe, comment to our page, or subscribe to our page. If you could like it, that'd be great. If you could comment on some of the stuff, that'd be great. And if you could share it, that'd be awesome. Hit the notifications button. But it's like for us, it's, you were going through a bunch of stuff personally. You were still writing, but now you've been relieved of a lot of extra, right?
It was a huge part of my life.
Yeah.
Huge. I mean, once, if not twice a day, making that trek to him.
Yeah.
For 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
But the last year got
real bad,
progressively worse, really fast.
I had to so it got to the point of where there was a long period of time I didn't come into the office at all,
right?
Because his health had gotten so bad that I had to be there. Somebody always had to be there,
right,
for him. So if I wasn't there, it was a caretaker or a nurse or an aide or something like that. So I was literally leaving my house at like 5 a.m, getting to him by 6:30, getting his day going, trying to run for whatever appointments I had. And then on the days I was dialing, I was just at his house for the whole day so that there wasn't a caretaker there. And honestly, the last year, it was just that.
Yeah.
And dry. It was very consuming. It was really consuming.
Sure.
And it was, emotionally, you're like, oh, I got this. I can balance this. I can balance this. I can do this. But then the numbers show you're not doing it, but you don't really...
You don't have a choice. That's right. It's your family. And that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you had a normal 9 to 5 or a normal job, there was no way in the world you could have done that.
I never would have been able to do that. I would have had to, if I weren't doing this, I would have had to put him in some sort of facility a year ago. And that was what I didn't want to do. I wanted him to be able to pass in his home. Sure. Which is what we got to do.
That's right. See, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that kind of stuff. I mean, what you went through was hopefully we don't talk about that stuff all the time because that would be pretty sad. But it's just a testament to what this industry can do for you and your family, and your life.
Right.
And a lot of folks don't have that choice, and they have to put their parents in a home. And with all due respect, you've seen some of these homes, right?
That was the thing. Is to me, and even professionals in the industry, and I mean the healthcare industry, that was a death sentence for him.
No doubt.
It was. Nobody had any doubt that probably within a week of him being in some sort of facility, he would pass away.
Right.
And
you weren't letting that happen.
No, and I couldn't bear the thought of him. We knew he was going to pass away, but it was not going to be in some stark white facility where someone's checking on him every hour. And, he was already gone for the most part. And that may sound a little harsh to say, but I just wanted him to be able to
be at peace at home.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Here's my nephew, my sister's son. I think you probably met my sister. She's been in the office a few times. Her son got married in June. And his wife's dad was jogging in the neighborhood I think it was September. And they found him in the middle of the street. He fell. They don't know what happened, but he hit his head so hard they had to remove a part of his skull just to relieve the swelling. And he's been in a coma since, right? And it's like miraculously, like he's showing some signs of of cohesiveness, right?
Right.
Like they're saying, if you understand me, blink twice, like that kind of stuff is just recently started to happen. But so he's in the hospital. Here's what's jacked up. The hospital, he's not out of his coma. His signs are okay, but they're not great. And the insurance companies are going, oh, he's got to go.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
Right.
And the family's fighting, going, well, like, we don't want him to go. I'm like, I'll go down there because, like, I'll lose my mind, especially if it's my mom or dad.
Right.
Like, go ahead. You can send him out, but you better hope it works out for your sake.
Right.
But they send him off to a care facility. And now the guy, September, October, November, December, I think January, they sent him off. And within a week, he had bed sores.
Right.
The whole 4 months in the hospital had no sores.
Right.
Within 1 week, has bed sores. Because the people just don't give a rip.
They don't.
And so, like, I don't blame you for not wanting your dad to go sit in a facility where they leave him sleep in their urine and feet. Like, stop. Right. Have some respect. Like, and that's, again, this whole situation blows my mind because I've got a temper. And when it comes to my family, like, okay. I mean, I don't much care what happens to me, but what happens to them is a problem if you don't do what's right. So, okay, enough about this. So I'm so sorry to hear about your dad, but I'm sure it's a relief to an extent that at least he's not suffering. And,
it is.
And,
it is.
It's amazing. Like most people would have aged 25 years in the last year, and you look the same.
It was, right?
Right?
I don't feel, listen, some days I woke up just knowing what my schedule was going to be like for the day. Some days I woke up and I was like, oh my God. Like, you know what I mean? But you have to do it.
Right.
Like you can't not do it.
Sure.
And so you get up and you drag yourself through and, just trying to, and then showing up for him because he had dementia and all those things. You got to put a big smile on your face. And,
right.
What are we walking into today?
No doubt. I'm sure. I can only imagine.
Excuse me. So, but that's, and most of the days were like that towards the end. But I was, like I said, taking all my work. You see the stuff that I walk in here with, my binder, and then like 5 or 6 clips of counties, that I'm sitting down. That's the way it was with him too. Sure. And I would sit down at the front desk or whatever, and while he's watching TV or napping, I'm dialing. Right. On the days I had to dial. And then what I really tried to do towards the end is the leads that I was buying out of the CRM, I was getting much lower Delaware, Sussex County where he lived.
Sure.
So that I could run there and pop in here and there during the day. But like you said, if I had a 9 to 5 or never in a million years, I didn't run as much as I needed to, didn't run as much as I wanted to, but it was enough to keep my head above water.
Right.
And to pay for, because like the last month, I had to have a private, we had a nurse and an aide and all that kind of stuff, but he had to have 24-hour care. So I had to hire outside of
what insurance would would give you. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's not cheap.
It wasn't. No. I mean, I hate to say I'm glad it was only for a month, but I mean, it was just a month that I had to do that.
Yeah.
But I was able to.
And you would have been, if it had went on 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you would have done it.
I would have. Exactly.
I have no doubt. And that's, so like, and now I'm going, because I always try and look for like the lessons in everything, right? And I think about what you just said about your schedule. And some days I woke up and looked at my schedule, was like, for real? But you got your butt out of bed, you got in the shower, you got dressed, you walked out the door, and you did what you had to do.
Right.
Because you didn't have a choice. But you did have a choice.
I did.
You did, but you didn't.
I did.
Right. So can you imagine, now moving forward, like, I love this because with you, it'll be like, what's your goal? Hall of Fame. Okay, so like if you don't hit it, I'll know you didn't hit because you didn't want to.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
Not because you couldn't, not because you didn't want to. And
That's right.
And so and it's your family and you love your dad. That's what drove you, right? And I did something, I don't know, it seems like I'm talking on the phone or to somebody forever all the time, but was talking about if what your goal is or what your purpose is strong enough, then nothing matters. Nothing can get in your way. Right. Nothing was going to stop you from getting up every morning, going down to take care of your dad and go to work. Right. So now that part of your life has passed, what is, like, to me, I think, all right, now there has to be a new why, right? a new goal, a new reason, new purpose, right?
Right.
How do you find that?
I'm still coming to terms with it.
Okay.
I'm still kind of, my God, I'm going to make myself accountable to this whole company right now, but this is
good.
I have to take a deep breath here. So for the last 8 years, I've been taking care of my dad. So I raised kids, and then as my kids got older, then, having to take care of my dad kind of took the place of caring for younger people.
Sure.
So there's always been
somebody relying on
what
you.
it is. There's always, I'm going to take a deep breath. Yes. There's always been an excuse.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Right? There's always been an excuse. Why didn't you do this? Well, my dad. And how come I thought you were running? Well, my dad. Right? And this is deep, and I'm not sure if I've said this out loud.
I love this because you're
I might have told
being
Joey,
really truthful.
But that is it. But that was the only thing that has been in my way. All of my children are grown. They are self-sufficient. Sure. They have their jobs. They do whatever. Nobody needs me anymore.
Except you.
So if I don't hit the goals that I know I want, if I don't, there is nothing. There's no goal I can't achieve. No. And I look at my sales for last week, right?
Yeah.
And I did that in 2 days. I only ran 2 days last week. I don't even know why. Because I don't even have an excuse for why. But that was what I did, right?
Sure.
So there's no reason it's not 4 days anymore. I don't have to go there anymore.
Okay.
Right? I finally found a home for his cat, that was an excuse. I got to go out to the cat. You know what I mean? There's nothing there now.
Okay.
The thermostat is off. I have no reason to go there. The mail is stopped. It is just sitting. I have nothing. I am the only reason that keeps me from being here today or Monday. I'm the only reason that keeps me from running Tuesday and Wednesday, Friday and Saturday. I have nothing in my life anymore that keeps me from my goals they were my responsibilities. My dad, my children, no doubt they were my responsibilities, but they were also, as I look back, excuses.
A crutch, yeah.
A crutch. Yeah. That's exactly what they were. And nothing's there anymore.
Okay.
If I don't hit these goals, then someone's going to have to go, what is your problem? You know what I mean? Get some therapy. You know what I mean?
Therapy. That's why I always liked you, Leslie, because you're really blunt, which is good for us, all of us.
You know what? But that's it. It was kind of frightening because I sat with myself one day and thought about that. And I was like, oh my God, everybody's watching. Nobody's watching me. You know what I mean? But in my mind, my kids are watching. Everybody I've used that excuse for, is, I'm accountable to them.
Yeah.
I'm accountable to myself. Right. So if I don't win, it's because I don't want to win.
Well, and you deserve to win.
I think so.
You do, but that's also a stumbling block for a lot of people. They really just totally don't believe that they deserve. And I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but a lot goes into that feeling, but that's I love that. Thank you for that, because this is more powerful than you probably even realize. I remember when I went to get, I was addicted to pain pills because I broke my back three times. One in a car accident, one skiing, and one I fell through a skylight.
You're really good at doing that.
Yeah, I'm awesome at it. So the pill, I liked it, but I remember, and this is crazy, when I admitted I needed help, I was pissed because I was like, now everybody's going to know and hold me accountable. Right. And I was young and immature and stupid, and I didn't want to be held accountable. Right. Because that's why addicts they hide it for so long, because they don't want to be held accountable. You just admitted to the whole company, which is
I took a second,
impressive.
I paused for a second. I was like, am I going to say this out loud? But I need to say it out loud.
That's right. That's right.
Those words have to hit air, right? For myself and for anyone who's watching this, who maybe, know it in the back of their mind, right? That they're putting speed bumps in their way, right? They're using excuses. And because of empathy and sympathy that other people around them may have for them, they're letting them slide on those things, right? Instead of, a couple of times Joey was like, you need to be better at your time management. She's rude.
I love Joey.
But she was like, you need to get better at your time management. I could have done these things before the last month while I was taking care of my dad. I could have. Very easily.
No doubt.
But I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. And I'm not going to sit here and justify all that stuff because we've all done it, right? With any situation. But it's like, you didn't. Okay, so be it. You know why the rear view mirror in a car is so small?
Right.
Because it's behind you.
Right.
The windshield's big, the rear view's small. So, you know what? But Joey, and by the way, Joey's her daughter, which has worked here, and she's really intelligent and she's really organized. But you know what? Folks like you and like me, like we're not really good at time management, so we have to focus on it more so. Right. Well, with Joey, it's just natural.
God, I know.
Right. And some people it is, some people it isn't. So, but to me, I think it's huge that you went ahead and did that. And we've all done it in the past, use something that everybody knows what's going on, or we use maybe we take advantage of the situation, right?
Exactly.
And again, it is what it is. No harm, no foul. We've all done it, so nobody can judge you. Right. But I think moving forward, you have the ability to be Hall of Fame this year with your eyes closed because you're that good, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. But
so what is your goal this year?
Absolutely. Well over. There's no reason I'm not going well over it, right? Okay. Building a team, but slow and steady wins the race on the team thing. Organically, and then when I get there, but just to be successful, and everybody has their own successful.
That's right. That's right.
My successful is Hall of Fame over Hall of Fame. That is my successful. So my objective wherever I go over that. It should be over that. It will be over that. But so what am I doing? What am I doing now that the reins are off?
Okay. Yes. Talk about that.
And there's nothing in the way. I took a month. I did my thing, carried up some things, but I have diligently Monday and Thursday, setting these appointments. And each time, like I could have, honestly, today I could have left here like 3 hours ago. I would have been happy with the appointments that I scheduled, but I didn't.
There you go.
I stayed just a little bit longer and set 4 more appointments.
You know what? Andrew Taylor talks about this. His deal was 28 appointments and 300 dials. Mm-hmm. So if he hit 300 dials and only had 24 appointments, he would dial till he got 28.
Right.
If he hit 28 appointments and was only at 240 dials, he would dial 60 more to get to 300.
Right.
And sometimes, so like, I love that. Like if you go, I'm going to be here from here to here, then just be here from here to here and work. Because what that does is the days where you have, like, sometimes you're going to have a day that's not great.
Right.
The days where you're firing on all cylinders, it's like, you ever play blackjack?
Oh yeah.
When you're hot, you press.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That makes up for the cold spells.
It does.
Same thing in this business.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you said that too.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at the schedule for tomorrow, and there was like a block. There's a 2 appointment block in there. And I just looked at it and I was like, oh my God, if I don't fill that 12 o'clock's not going to show. You know what I mean? Like in my mind, if I don't fill it, the next one's going to be a no-show.
That's the way it works.
Because I could sit here and fill this.
Yes,
if I intentionally don't fill it, I know that guy's going to no-show.
Karma.
Me.
That's right.
So, and that's when I was like, I can't leave. I got to really fill these. You know what I mean? Because it's a good schedule. I mean, it's 15, 16 for tomorrow and Saturday. I'm going to get something out of it.
Heck yeah.
But if I hadn't stayed and filled that one block, the whole weekend would have been shot.
I love that.
In my mind, I was like, nobody's going to show up if I don't fill that block.
See, that's a good game to play with yourself, though.
Yeah, right?
It's mental manipulation for a good cause.
It is, yeah. Well, because it's true. So I was like the opposite. People have scheduled 2 or 3 appointments, and I'm like, what are you doing? Nobody's going to show up.
Right.
Just a law of average. Murphy's Law, you're walking with Murphy's Law. Those people are not showing up.
Right.
So I just kind of flipped it. If I don't fill those blocks, those 7 other people aren't going to be home. You know what I mean? So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm here. I might as well be here. Traffic's going to be bad anyway. Let me just wait it out.
That's right.
And sure enough, just every single person I called after that just picked up the phone, and I was like, why are you answering?
Yeah, because they're supposed to.
Right.
Because you're doing the right thing. Right.
And these aren't, and I'm pushing myself hard right now because my mailers haven't exactly set back in yet. These are all CRM leads.
Perfect. They work.
They sure do.
Yeah.
They sure do.
I'm tired of hearing people complain about CRM leads. Like, knock it off. It's your attitude.
It sure
So you have a good attitude. You're in here. You're happy. Your phone script's great, and your mindset's good.
Yeah.
That's why you're having success. So
I look in the CRM, and I'm like, if I see a new one, I'm like, oh my God, somebody's going to take that. I'm going to buy it. It doesn't matter what day it is, because now I'm looking at the emails that tell you when something's coming in, and I'm like, God, someone's going to buy that. And then I'll buy it because now I'm worried, right? I don't want anybody running in my area. And I'm like, God, if I don't buy that, somebody else is going to come in, and that's it. I mean, I'm just, it's more than a back to basics. It's just kind of like, being brutally honest with myself, because again, I have no crutch anymore.
Yeah.
So if I start whining about something, I got to get really realistic about what are you really whining about right now? You just being lazy?
Right.
You just want to go and sit down and watch it. Like, what is your problem exactly? Are you nervous about something? So now I don't have the benefit of an umbrella anymore. I don't. And
well, that's good. It's going to be uncomfortable, though.
It is going to be uncomfortable. Immensely. Exactly. It is uncomfortable.
Perfect.
Like even today, I'm like uncomfortable sitting in the office by myself. I'm like, where's
everybody? Right? That's right.
But whatever. Okay, I'm here.
Probably, and again, it's not that you're like, I love when a whole bunch of people around, but you still got done what you had to get done.
Right.
So,
I laughed with Sadhna because have the board when we're all like writing down. I was like, well, it's just me competing with me. And I wrote it down every time.
That's right.
That's fine. I'll leave it there too for whoever comes in next can see what I did today.
That's right. Perfect.
So,
well, Leslie, thank you so much for coming in here. I appreciate it. I'm excited for you. I see a change. And again, I'm sure a lot of that has to do with the amount of stress, because you can't, that's not a crutch. It's stressful when you're dealing with stuff like that. And now it's been lifted from you, which is good. Yeah. You seem like you're lighter in a sense of like you're not weight wise, but you just feel like you're walking around lighter.
Weight,
yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I do. It is a huge weight lifted.
Good.
So it's good.
Well, we appreciate you. We're thankful for you coming in.
I'm just glad everybody's here who's here, because then it's still like, okay, I'm still coming in. I have a job to do.
That's right.
So people are here and it's good. It works.
No doubt. Well, guys, I hope this helps. And listen to this more than once, please, because there was a lot of stuff in here that's deeper than just what product do I write, what leads do I buy, what's my schedule. Like this is the stuff that makes or breaks agents from being good to great. And it's really simple, but a lot of folks have the same issues and the same problems and the same challenges that Leslie had and has overcome. And you can too. So until next week, make it a big week. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Leslie.
Thanks.